He thought humiliating her would make him look powerful. He had no idea her quiet strength would leave the entire VIP room frozen. It was supposed to be a networking gala, but to Mia, it felt more like a war zone in high heels. She had never been in a room so full of polished egos and fake smiles. But her boss insisted she attend. Good exposure, he'd said, though he conveniently skipped it himself. Mia, a marketing assistant, had been working for 3 years without a promotion. She didn't wear designer anything. Her dress was second-hand, and she'd saved for weeks just to afford the shoes. She stood quietly near the back, holding a glass of water like it was armor. Then came Derek Langston, founder, investor, media darling, arrogant as they come. He scanned the room and noticed Mia immediately. She was the only one not laughing at his joke, not trying to get his attention. That made her a target. He walked over, voice loud enough for the VIPs nearby to hear. Let me guess. Intern? No. Assistant? Or did you sneak in looking for free wine? Some chuckled. A few looked uncomfortable, but said nothing. Mia stayed still. He leaned closer, smirking. You know, sometimes people like you come to these events thinking confidence is enough, but this game's played with pedigree. You either have it, or you serve those who do. A few people turned away, embarrassed for her, but Mia didn't shrink. She looked him straight in the eye. And then, with a calm voice and no raised tone, she began to speak. She said, You're right about one thing. This room runs on pedigree. But I've learned pedigree doesn't always mean intelligence, and power doesn't always mean class. The laughter stopped. Glasses hovered mid-air. Derek blinked. Mia continued, steady and sharp. People like you measure worth by bank accounts and last names. I measure it by how someone treats the quietest person in the room. Now every head was turned. I didn't come here to be seen, she said. I came here to listen, to learn. But what I just learned from you is what arrogance looks like when it's too used to applause. A woman near the fireplace put her wine down. A man in a tailored gray suit muttered, Wow. Derek tried to smile, brushing her off. You've got a sharp tongue. Maybe that's why you're still an assistant. Mia didn't blink. Maybe I'm still an assistant because people like you spend more time talking than listening. A pause. Then someone from the side, a quiet, older gentleman with a cane, spoke up. Young lady, who are you working for? She hesitated. Hudson and Clark Marketing. He nodded. Tell them you're hired by me now, effective tomorrow. Mia's jaw dropped slightly. Even Derek looked confused. I'm Wallace Rains, the man added. Owner of Rains Global. I've been looking for someone who actually knows how to speak truth in a room full of noise. The room erupted into whispers. Derek stepped back, his smirk gone. Mia simply nodded, then turned to Derek one last time. I didn't need a spotlight, she said. I just needed someone to finally open their eyes. Derek stood there, stunned. For once, his mouth didn't have a comeback ready. The VIPs who once circled him now drifted toward Mia. Some offered their cards. Others simply nodded, impressed by what they'd witnessed. Mia held her head high but kept her cool. She wasn't used to attention like this, but she didn't let it shake her. Wallace Rains stepped closer. You spoke truth. That's rare in rooms like this. You didn't perform. You didn't beg. You belonged. Mia gave a soft smile. I never needed to belong to this room. I just didn't want to leave it thinking I had no voice. People she had only seen in magazines were now listening to her, not because she tried to impress them, but because she reminded them what real strength looks like. Quiet, unshaken, honest. Derek tried to laugh it off. Guess I should watch what I say, huh? Wallace looked at him without smiling. Number, you should learn what to say. That's what leadership is. Mia excused herself gently from the crowd. She stepped out into the night, the air sharp against her skin. Her phone buzzed, a message from her old boss. You made headlines. Whatever happens next, we're proud of you. She tucked the phone away, looked up at the stars, and whispered to herself. Finally. Don't underestimate someone just because they're quiet. Some voices don't need volume to make the whole room listen. If Mia's courage moved you, share this story. Let someone out there know they don't have to stay silent. The next morning, Mia woke up to a flood of messages. Her name was trending on LinkedIn and Twitter. A short video of her exchange with Derek had gone viral. Someone at the event had recorded the whole thing. The caption read, "She didn't raise her voice. She raised the standard." She stared at the screen, still in disbelief. Major companies were reaching out. Journalists wanted interviews. Former classmates she hadn't spoken to in years were sending congratulations. But the message that made her pause was from her father. You've always had that fire, baby girl. Now the world sees it too. She sat on the edge of her bed and smiled. Not the kind you show off, but the kind that happens when your heart finally feels understood. Later that week, she walked into Rain's Global for her first day. No assistant title, no silence. She was welcomed with respect, not because she demanded it, but because she earned it without ever losing who she was. And as she passed through the glass doors, she spotted a new quote framed in the lobby. Wallace had it installed that morning. True power isn't loud, it's unshakable. MT. She paused, recognizing her own initials. Then she walked in, ready to build the kind of company people didn't fear, but felt safe in. If this story gave you chills or strength, share it. Someone out there is afraid to speak up. Let Mia remind them. You don't have to shout to be heard, you just have to stand.